Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is another 10 looks, 1 palette with the Jaclyn Hill Favorites palette. I have done a whole series on this, which I will link all the other videos down below. I'm almost complete. I'm kind of sad because I love this palette. So let's get started. I am starting with a Snapchat selfie, so add me on Snapchat if you would like to. And then I'm going in with this Sukin facial oil. Depending on how my skin feels that day, this can be the perfect primer for my personal skin to make my foundation look really, really flawless. I like to apply it all over my face and then let it sink in for a couple of minutes so that it's not too oily. Then I'm going in with a little bit of this e.l.f. Mineral Face Primer. I'm using the green one because I do have a little bit of blemish and redness on my chin and around my nose. So I'm working that into any areas that I do have redness or enlarged pores. And then again, I'm going in and letting that sort of sink in a little bit before I apply anything else. Next, I'm taking my Ben Nye color wheel. I'll leave all the details here in case you want to grab it. I'm taking the greenish tone and I'm popping that over all of my redness. I'm using my finger just to really work it into the skin and create a really thin layer over any redness that I do have. I find this just helps to really correct that color before I go into foundation, and it makes me need less coverage when I do actually do foundation and concealer and things like that. So I'm using the green toned concealer to cover up any redness that I have around my eyes, on my chin, around blemishes, anything like that. And then I'm going in with the peachy shade, and I'm using that to cover up any of the dark circles under my eyes. As you can see, I'm focusing this just on my eyes and really focusing on the darkest parts that are colored. This just really helps to correct that dark sort of purpley veiny effect. And let that all sink in before I go with foundation. Then I'm using Loreal Infallible. It's one of my favorite foundations ever. It is long wearing, it is full coverage, and it just looks really great on the skin. So I'm buffing that into my skin using my foundation brush. If you want to know more about my brushes, I will leave that tutorial down below. Then for concealer, I am using my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. It is, again, one of my new favorites. I don't know, I stopped using it for a little bit, but I'm back into it and I love it. So I'm applying that under my eyes, on my chin, and anywhere else that does need a little bit of extra coverage. I like to blend my concealers in using my fingers because I find the warmth of my hands really works it into these fine line areas that I tend to apply concealer. Then to set the under eye area, I'm using this powder, which I will leave linked down below, and I'm just popping quite a large amount of that very, very loosely over my eyes, and I think I put a little bit on my nose as well. And then I'm letting that sink in for a little bit and then brushing it away. I just find this really sets that area in place and stops it from moving or creasing throughout the day. And then to set the rest of my face in place, I'm using this Savvy Mineral Pressed Powder and just patting that into the skin. Again, this just really helps to make it all last all day. Then we're going in with the Jaclyn Hill Favorites palette. So the first color I'm taking is this sort of muted brown shade, and I'm using that as a transition and lid color. I'm packing that really, really densely onto my brush, and I'm starting in the outer crease of my eye. And I'm just buffing that out. I'm placing color and then blending it out. So I sort of went a little heavy-handed with this because I did want that focus of color in that outer crease, and then I'm gonna blend from there. As you can see, I'm sort of bringing it down onto the lid and out through the inner crease. Generally, I start with less product and work it up, but today I just wanted to really build that depth straight away. Then I'm taking this purpley shade and I'm patting that on my lid just as a base color for the shadows that we're going to pop over the top. So I'm using my finger just to really get a great pigmentation of this color, and then I'm blending it with the other color that we placed down as a transition. I'm using back and forth windshield wiper motions just to really work that color into the lid, and then I am going under the eye with it as well just to create that nice smoky effect in the lower lash line. Then I'm going to take a lighter color from the Jaclyn Hill Favorite palette. This is one of my favorite transition shades. It's like a peachy orangey tone, and I'm using quite a lot of that, and again just using that as a transition between the brown color that we have placed and my brow bone. I went in with a little bit of color and then just started working it and blending it out. It looks really messy at the moment, but the whole key is just to blend, blend, blend. Next, I'm taking Liquid Set, and what Liquid Set does is when mixed with this color in the palette, it creates a sort of watery but very, very pigmented fluid, I guess, and I'm popping that all over my lid and under my lower lash line. I like to use this when I want a really, really concentrated pigment, and I really did want that on the lid. You can use it as eyeliner, you can use it as I have as just a really pigmented eyeshadow. The only key is it does sort of flake a little bit when you're blending it out, so you've just got to be careful and go a little bit further, I guess, than you normally would take a really pigmented colour, just so that then you have that safety to blend it out. So I'm taking a softer brush and the exact same colour we used with the liquid set. I'm just taking my time and really blending out those edges. As you can see, they are falling out onto my cheek, because it is a flaky colour. Once it dries, it does not move. It is waterproof and it is an amazing product, but it is a little bit hard to work with if you haven't before. Then I'm taking this neon purple colour and patting that over the top because it gave it a sort of iridescent feel that I really, really loved. Then I'm going in with the lightest shade in the palette, and it is just a beautiful brow bone highlight. So I'm popping that on my brow bone and in my inner corner. And once it's all cleaned up and blended properly, you should be getting something like this. I really, really like the look. I think it's really, really dimensional and a little bit different. Then we're going in with brows because I just couldn't handle my brows looking like that anymore. And for mascara today, I'm using these Scandaleyes. I think it's by Rimmel. I don't know. I will leave it linked down below. I'm really liking it at the moment. And then these lashes as well, which I will leave down below. And I think they just add the final touches to the look. Then I'm going to take a felt eyeliner and I'm just using that to cover up the lash band and create a thicker look. Then I'm going with this Beige Australia contour colour, and I'm contouring my cheeks with my Models Prefer brush. I wanted a very, very muted sort of contour shade today because I am working with colour. I think colour is really wearable, especially if you do a look like this that has neutrals in it and just a pop of colour on the lid. I actually love it. I think it really enhances my eye colour, and I know a lot of people are really scared to use colour, and I don't want them to be, so that's why I created this look. Then for blush, I'm using one of my favourites. This is a Savvy one, which I will leave linked down below. It's just super natural and pinky, peachy, sort of shimmery colour. I'm using the same highlight from that Beige Australia palette because it is a sort of champagne-y, whitey shade, and I'm popping that on my cheekbones and on my brow bone and down the bridge of my nose and on my cupid's bow as well, just to give a really nice glow to the skin. Then for the lips today, it's a shocker. I am using one of the Essence lip liners. This is in the Nude. These are one of my favourite lip liners at the moment. I seriously cannot get enough. I am using them as full colours and I'm using them as lip liners. Today I'm using it as a lip liner, so I'm lining my lips and filling them in, and then I'm going in with this Australis colour, which is again one of my favourite colours at the moment, and it's called Easy Chic, and it's just a super pretty dark browny nude. And then I'm layering it with a Napoleon Perdis lipstick, which is very, very nude, and it's called, I think, San Francisco or something. I'll leave it linked down below anyway. I'm popping that in the centre of my lips just to give a really nice plump, glossy, lighter look in that centre lip colour. And that's a completed look. I hope you guys liked this video. If you have any requests for me to do particular looks using the Jaclyn Hill Favorites palette, please leave them down below. I have a few more looks in my 10 looks 1 palette challenge, and I would love to hear your ideas and what you would like to see. Have an awesome day, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So the reason I haven't filmed for a little while, if any of you have actually noticed, is because I've been in the process of moving everything into one room.